Welcome everybody tonight to This Week in Wrestling. Hi, I am Scalz. The man next to me, that is Cam. How's everybody doing tonight? So, I think we had a pretty interesting week in wrestling, don't you think?
Yes, we did, and it's obvious that we are heading into Wrestlemania. They're starting to amp it up. So yeah, it was a pretty big week, man.
Yeah, between Raw, SmackDown tonight, and AEW stepping up their game to compete with those, I think it is actually probably one of the better weeks that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I guess it helped that AEW was coming out of their pay-per-view too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we're going to go a little bit different this week. We're going to start at the beginning of the week and work our way towards what happens tonight. So we're going to start off with Monday Night Raw. Uh,
So
yep,
I
good.
went and did a what I would like to call a Raw brief recap. Um, so of course we already know this Raw was pretty big because it served as a vital tool in building and shaping the WrestleMania card. So, of course, we saw the return of John Cena, and we saw him come out and interrupt Austin Theory, and they had a back and forth confrontation in the ring on the mic. And now we have the match made between John Cena and Austin Theory for the United States Championship match at WrestleMania, which I think would be a great WrestleMania match as well. And then, of course, we had uh, Logan Paul attack Seth Rollins. I think it was on I think this was a part of Miz TV, I believe. So we had him attack Rollins, and of course now setting up that match for WrestleMania. We saw the 6 woman tag team match be made between, of course, the reigning and defending women's tag team champions Lita and Becky Lynch, and now Trish Stratus taking on Damage Control at Mania. Um, one of the big points of Monday Night Raw, and I almost forgot to mention this, was of course the Bloodline storyline continuation. Now we have Jay finally choosing a side. He faked everybody out, and
I'm not
it
gonna
looked like
lie, he got me.
he was doing. Yeah, yeah. It looked like he was joining. Looked like he was joining Sami Zayn, and then of course he super kicked Sami Zayn, and then the Bloodline just tearing him apart. Of course, him being saved by Cody Rhodes. So we're shaping up that tag team match. I think we're still getting that between the Usos, Sami, and KO. So yeah, once again, incredible work by the Bloodline and that whole storyline. So yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite part of the night was the Cena Theory segment. Like, Cena just roasted him, buried him, and it was just so good.
Yeah.
And for everybody that I've seen all week is like, oh, they shouldn't have done that to Theory. He's buried. Like, nothing's going to come from this. Wrong. This is going to make him better. What happened when Cena did this to Roman Reigns in 2017? What happened
Made him
after
better.
that? It made Roman step up his game and get better. And I think
Right.
that's exactly what this is going to do. And it just was so perfect. And as much as I hate to say it, I mean, this is setting up for Theory to beat Cena. And I really didn't want that. But I could definitely see it happening now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, that, and then you had the um, uh, Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, which was perfectly done. Seth
Hmm.
Rollins sold that punch like nobody's business. It was just amazing. You want to talk about the matches?
I mean, you can if you want to. I didn't really write anything down about the matches.
Okay.
We can go through the matches if you want to.
I mean, there was some pretty good matches in the night. You had Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. It was actually Solo's first loss on the main roster, even though it wasn't a pinfall loss. He lost through DQ, so that's kind of big news. He hasn't had that happen before, so we have to see how he's going to bounce back from that in his next match. You had Bianca versus Carmella, which was a decent match for what it was. Yeah, I mean, just the good storylines throughout the night. It just helped develop what's going on.
Right.
But I don't know if there's anything else you really wanted to mention about Monday Night Raw. We pretty much hit
Not
all the
really.
major points.
Not particularly.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing much. I guess
Oh.
I would add in either because, I don't know. I mean, it again. It's like basic same old stuff. Basic same old. But I mean, there were some good matches. But I mean, a little flat, a little bit.
So overall, what was your thoughts on Monday Night Raw? If we were going to give it a rating.
I think I'll probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. And I'm probably just giving it that just based off of the fact that I just liked how they are. They use this Monday Night Raw as an instrument to really form and shape the WrestleMania card.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I did not like, you mentioned it earlier, how we're getting the 6-woman tag match at Mania. I really hope there's something else that goes on with the tag titles because I don't like them being stuck in this match.
Right.
So,
yeah, they stick out like a sore thumb. That's the problem.
So hopefully they lose them beforehand, and then they get defended with another tag team. But the tag team titles don't need to be involved in this anymore. Like, get that out. It's 3 versus 3. Like, let's get a way to get 4 more women on the card. Like, right now there are 10 women on the card. Throw 4 more, that's 14. I think that's a very solid number for WrestleMania. It puts 2 matches on each night.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, Raw for me was an 8.25. Phil, did you want to throw your number in there?
I think for me too. Looking at Monday Night Raw again. Nothing on their way too crazy or anything. Again, stop like pretty solid. 7 out of 10. I'm with Kim on this one.
Okay. We're gonna move on to NXT Roadblock.
Oh.
I don't like the sound of that, Phil.
No. Okay, I was actually Roadblock for me. I was excited. I was actually excited with the Roadblock card. I was excited, and I liked it.
Okay, because the way that you sounded was that it was not a great show. When, in fact...
That's not what I meant whatsoever. Like, it was great.
But the way you sounded was like, oh, great, here we go. We got to talk about this. This is
I get
boring.
it. I get it. Yeah, I know.
And I think the worst match of the night coming out of this was actually the Gigi Dolan and JC Jane match that was been built up. Like, they just didn't work well together against each other. And I hope that changes if they're going to keep trying to continue this feud. But that to me was disappointing.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would say so. Speaking of which, I'm glad you started with that. So, February 28th, 2023 episode of NXT. I'm taking it back a little bit.
Okay.
Gigi Dolan had probably one of the best promos that I've probably ever seen her cut. So, you know, she added her own personal upbringing and the abuse that she suffered. She incorporated that into her promo, and I loved it. I thought it was great work by her. I don't think I've seen her have a better promo yet. That was easily her best promo. So to go from that to go into the match, first of all, starting off, I didn't like the fact that they didn't even show Gigi's entrance. That was just in like an off. It was like a commercial break, off screen kind of thing. And then we saw JC Jane's entrance. So I didn't like that very much. I thought that was just kind of like everything that she just said and everything that was built up going into this one-on-one match kind of was just flushed on the toilet because you didn't even show Gigi's entrance. So I didn't really like that too much. The match itself, I thought was, I mean, it definitely underdelivered. I mean, you pretty much blink and it was over. So There wasn't really a whole lot there. I was expecting a little bit more. Obviously, the feud's not over. JC, of course, checked Gigi after the match, so the feud's not over. So maybe there's something else. Maybe there's, I don't know, some sort of stipulation that they add next time they're in the ring together. But yeah, the match itself was not. It wasn't all that. It was very. It was definitely one of the lowlights. Definitely one of the lowlights for Roadblock, which is disappointing because I expected something a lot better. I will say though, now that Gigi is on her own, I definitely want to see some in-ring development, obviously, and character development for her. You already know I'm big on that. And now that the training wheels are off, she's away from Toxic Attraction, no Mandy, no JC now. This is her moment to really show improvement. And so I hope that there's more to see when it comes to Gigi Dolan. So yeah, who knows? I gave this a 2 out of 5. It wasn't really a whole lot there.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that one.
Neither can I really. I mean, like Cam hit all the major points on the head. Again, Gigi again with that promo. That was probably Gigi Dolan at her best. Like that was her at 100%. Like everything in there was great. Everything that she put in there was great. But yeah, like when it came down to the execution of the match, like we were all expecting this really big culmination, and it really just fell flat. Like just again, like Cam said from the get-go, they just brought Gigi in from back, they didn't give her her own freaking entrance. And I mean, I think when they did the week before, they actually had her using the old Toxic Attraction theme, and I'm like, well, okay, now I'm freaking confused because JC was giving completely different music, and I'm like, what? How?
So I'm curious is if they're gonna play she's gonna play the disrespect card that they're not respecting me, and they're not even giving my own entrance, my own music. So if that's gonna be something to maybe help push her and help her character develop, like you were asking.
Right.
That probably will be the case.
Yeah.
But here's one thing though I am also noticing from NXT, whether it's their pay-per-view their pay-per-view shows or the actual pay-per-views itself, they always know. It seems like more recently they really know how to open up the show, because they opened the show up with the Jailhouse Street fight between Tony D'Angelo and Dijak. I absolutely loved that match. That it was something new. It was something that made sense. It was fresh. There was a lot of story. There was a whole lot of story involved in it as well. Like, oh my god! Like I don't know what else I can say about it except oh my god! Like it was just that good.
Yeah, I actually was very surprised with that match, both with the match itself as well as the result. Cam, what was your thoughts on that match?
I definitely I didn't watch this match from start to finish necessarily, but from what I did see, I thought it was an interesting match. At first, I wasn't really aware of the actual rules or whatever, so for me, it kind of came off as like a one-on-one kind of Iron Survivor thing, because I mean, they clearly just kind of reused the cage that they had for Iron Survivor to this match. It seemed like, I don't know. But no, it was a great match, so I can't even really hate on it.
But I did like the little thing that they did where they built it into the ground. Like,
yeah, they did.
So it couldn't move. I like that. That was pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. But I thought this was a good match. Obviously, I like Tony D'Angelo. I like the direction they're going with Tony D'Angelo. I think they are sort of repairing his character and not kind of pushing it too much with him being the Don of NXT like they were before when he was feuding with Santos Escobar a while ago. But I love Tony D'Angelo. Of course, I like Dijak. This is an amazing match. I like. There was a point in the match. I think Dijak had hit a sweet elbow drop through a table. I thought that was pretty cool. So the outcome, Scales. I think I will agree with you. I think it was a little bit surprising, but I just think they're trying to build up Tony D'Angelo right now and put him on the right path. So yeah, it was a good match. If I had to rate it, I would say it was a 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I would definitely give that a 3 out of 5 as well. I enjoyed the match. I was surprised with the finish because I did not think they were going to have him go over. I really thought we were going to
Agreed.
see Dijak come out on top on this one. And, I mean, I'm interested to see where they go because I do enjoy Dijakovic. I just am curious as to see how they're going to continue to build up him with this loss. And that's what really concerns me.
Right.
Yeah. I think
Um,
that's the only thing that's like iffy for me. Like, where if they're doing this with Tony, which is a good thing, don't get me wrong. What happens with Dijak? Like, he goes out for a few weeks, comes back.
Right, I mean, they've already done that before. They've built him up with the vignettes and everything. Is he going up to the main roster again? Like, that's the other concern I would have.
right.
Absolutely.
We saw the appearance of Dragon Lee in the crowd, and so they're hyping up his debut match or whatever. So I'm very curious to see what he does. The next match I think after that was the 6-man tag match with Jinder Mahal, um, and then they were going. Who did they go against? They went against
It
Braun
was
Breaker and
Indish.
yeah,
Yeah, Braun
Braun
Breaker and
Breaker.
the Creeds.
Yeah. Um, I thought this was a pretty good match, um, which was kind of a shocker because I wasn't really quite sure what they would really do in this match. Not much to really talk about there necessarily. Of course, Braun looks good. I'm a huge fan of the Creed brothers, obviously. Still curious to see where they go with Jinder Mahal. I'm not sure what's next for him. So yeah, but I gave this match a 4 out of 5.
So, this is probably Braun Breaker's one chance to wrestle with somebody that's very similar style to his dad and uncle. It's like the younger versions of the Steiner brothers in the Creeds. And I feel like this gives him, like, it's almost like that throwback to how he could have felt if he actually wrestled with them. Because they
Right.
have, like, the same style. I enjoyed this match. I thought it was a 4 out of 5 as well. Um, I mean, I love the Creeds and I love Braun Breaker. I hope he loses at Stand and Deliver so we can see him on the Raw after Mania.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. With them hyping this up for Stand and Deliver, this has to be a 5 out of 5. Because if it's not, I don't know. I don't know what to think. Like the little work that they had in the promo segment between the two. They've been watching. This is laying out a lot of groundwork. They're saying, "Hey, we've literally been watching each other like almost since day freaking one." So when it comes to Stand and Deliver, like we have to put on the banger of all bangers for NXT wise. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's been teases that Carmelo might be going up as well. So I don't know what's going to happen because there was the tease that he might be in the new Hurt business. Like, I mean, he'll fit wherever he goes as long as he's able to do what he has done down in NXT. So I have no fear that Melo won't shine anywhere he goes because Melo don't miss.
Right. Absolutely.
But the only other thing on this card that I mean, we have the women's championship match, and then we had the Grayson Waller effect. So there are actually two more things on this card.
Yes.
What do you want to tackle first?
I'll go with the Grayson Waller effect. Obviously, you already know how I feel about Grayson Waller. Love Grayson Waller. Think he's great. After he lost to Braun Breaker, I think he kind of went down a peg or two, and now he's kind of transitioned to this whole I don't know frustration feud kind of with Shawn Michaels. Of course, we all know he's in Gorilla. He runs NXT or whatever. Um, so I don't really know. I don't really know the plan with that. Grayson Waller effect I thought was okay. Obviously, HBK is massively over. Had the crowd singing his theme song. So they were very very into this segment. I thought this segment kind of dragged a little bit though because it just was kind of them going back and forth. Oh yeah, I'm NXT. I'm bigger than the brand. And then Shawn Michaels kind of come back at him and he's like, I don't know what your frustration is. I don't know what your deal is. But it kind of went back and forth. Now, I thought by the end of this that we were going to end up seeing Grayson Waller versus Shawn Michaels at Stand and Deliver, which I was just like, okay, I really don't know where this is going. But then we saw the man who he held the flagship for NXT for so long, Johnny Wrestling himself, Johnny Gargano. So now we're going to see Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller at NXT Stand and Deliver. I'm all for that. All for it. Because Johnny Gargano puts on banger matches, especially when he's in NXT. When he's in NXT, he's in his bag. He's a completely different person. So definitely want to see that match for Stand and Deliver.
I don't think anybody wanted to see Shawn Michaels wrestle again.
No.
No, I was not ready. I was literally seeing Grayson and Shawn look at each other eye to eye, and I'm like, no, don't,
But
Shawn, don't do it. Don't
Was he
say
looking?
it.
Was he
Don't-
looking eye to eye, or was he looking eye to?
I don't know. At this point, great. Yeah, at this point, Grayson's taller than Shawn. Let's just get that out of the way. Moving on to going back to regular programming, if we can.
I mean, it
but
just
yeah.
was, and then you had the music hit for Gargano, and like Cam said, he's a different man when he comes down there, and it fits perfectly with the storyline because Grayson Waller was the one that beat him up on his last night when he was gonna talk, have his little speech, and then he took him out, and you knew something was gonna happen then. You just didn't realize it was gonna take as long as it did. He left WWE
Right.
for a bit, came back, debuted on the main roster, has started to have some success, and now it's the perfect time for him to go down there and do what he does best. What's going on, Will Gray?
Prime example of long-term storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
For sure.
I'm all for it. I love the Grayson Waller effect. I love his segments when he does all the live streams because he actually reads what people are typing on the stream. It's not fabricated. He's actually live on his Instagram.
He's actually on it. Yeah, he's literally live on Instagram.
It's so good because I just turned it on just to watch it, and he's hilarious. Like he doesn't get enough credit for what he does, and
No.
if given the opportunity, he could be one of the best that WWE's seen in a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And I mean, one thing about Grayson Waller, he is like, I will say this about him: he is a true Aussie in and out. Because if I know one thing about Aussies, they do not give a damn about PC. Like, they take that, they throw that out the fucking, they take it and they throw it out the fucking window for real. Like, literally every single freaking post, like every single thing he puts on social media, he does not care who gets offended. He does not care what fans think about it. He's gonna air his side of the story no matter what you think about it, and he's just gonna let everything unfold from there.
Yeah, I mean, it was very interesting. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for that match that's coming up. I think it's going to be a banger. And that card is just filling out. And I can't, like, that Saturday and Sunday. Like, we're going to have wrestling Friday night, Saturday at 1 p.m., Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, and then Tuesday night. And then, like, that's just WWE. That's not even counting AEW. Like,
Right.
What a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys subscribe to any ESPN alerts, but I just got the ESPN alert that Rey Mysterio is being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
I saw that like from watching SmackDown. I'm just like, yo, I did not see
I mean,
not see this coming
so
whatsoever.
I got to give credit to Shadow. He did say this a couple weeks ago that he felt that Rey Mysterio would be one of the inductees this year. So I got to
It
give
makes
Shadow
sense.
my props.
Off the shadow.
But let's talk about the last match of the night, the main event, which had
Oh, boy.
Miko Satomura versus Roxanne Perez.
So, I've said this before. Love Mako Satomura. One of the legends right now in the game for female wrestlers right now. Love her work. She obviously did her thing. Another amazing showing by her. The match itself, I thought was pretty short. I mean, there's not much to really talk about, I guess, until after the match. So after the match, Roxanne Perez, of course, retains, and then she randomly collapses. So, like originally, I had to rewind this because I'm taking my notes
I missed
off
it.
the top.
Like I missed it.
Yeah,
I'm watching.
I was-
Next thing I know, I turn away, and then I turn back, and she's lying on the ground. I was like, "Did she get
Yeah.
kicked?"
Yeah. So I saw the roll up 1, 2, 3, and then she was still on the ground when after the match or whatever. So I'm looking down, taking my notes. I never saw her stand up. I never saw the show of respect between her and Mako. So I look back up and then she's on the ground. So I'm thinking she was still on the ground. I didn't see her get up and collapse. But I just noticed like the crowd was just dead silent, and I'm like, what's happening? So then they have like several referees come out and they're just like, get help, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, wait a second. So I had to rewind that. So of course, rewinded. Of course, saw her collapse, and they stretcher her out. Have an ambulance or whatever. So I mean, of course, knowing me, of course, the curiosity got the best of me. So I had to look it up. I was like, I don't know if she's actually hurt or what happened. Apparently, from what I read, this angle, I guess that they did similar with Shawn Michaels in like the mid '90s or whatever.
Yep.
So I think
Yes.
they're kind of incorporating that in this storyline here. Not sure where it's going.
It was
But-
exactly the same thing.
I like it honestly. I like it honestly. It's definitely very interesting. The storytelling with that is very very rich. So the match itself, okay, but the storytelling after the match, I think, made me give a rating of this match 5 out of 5, just based off storytelling.
Mm.
And the collapse, the way that it happened between, like, if you watched hers and then if you watched Shawn Michaels, it's the exact same thing. Like, they fell in the exact same spot in the ring. Like, it was perfect. The only thing I didn't like is when she was getting wheeled out, you saw her open her eyes and was like I don't think she was supposed to, because I think like she was still supposed to play it off as being injured. So I think that gave it away a little bit that it was part of the story as opposed to a real injury.
Right.
But
Yeah.
overall, I enjoy. I like Miko. I like Roxanne Perez. I think she is actually going to be a talent for years to come in WWE if they don't let her go. Yeah, so I just want to see her hold on to this belt for a little bit longer. I don't know who's going to take it from her yet, so that's a good thing because I'd rather have her have it. And then overall for me, the match itself with the storytelling was like a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I would really give it that. Again, like it's also very very amazing to see how even this actually even took place. Like this came off of the whole top back when Gigi and JC were still together. Saying like, oh, Roxanne, you're not gonna you can't find a tag team partner to go against the both of us, blah blah blah. And she's like, okay, let me make a special call. And then next thing you know, right before the night ends, it's like, Roxanne, have you found a partner? Yeah, it's gonna be Toxic Attraction against myself and Miko Satomura. I'm like, oh shoot, I remember when they had their first match. Holy crap, yeah, all that stuff. But I mean, yeah, they had that win, and then what was it? Not and then after she was defended the title, now she's set to face Miko Satomura at Roadblock. But I mean, part of the story for me got a little confusing because next thing you know, it's like Satomura doing like a I don't know, a training class, and Roxanne shows up, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense to me. Why are you going to your opponent for training lessons? Like it just did not seem like a compatible thing for me, at least. But I mean, putting that aside, though, I was enjoying the match because, again, Meiko Satomura has been in the game for women's wrestling since since WCW. This is like she's probably like done this for like now at least 30 years or so.
Yeah, she's been there for a long time.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But for me, I also really enjoyed this match, but I almost did give in to the whole fact that Roxanne was injured pretty bad until again, like him, I needed to rewind because I'm like, wait, what just happened? What did I just witness? Because I just remember for a fact that Miko Satomura, yeah, since she has the Japanese has a bit of more of a Japanese background in the strong style of wrestling. I figured it would have been what happened a couple of years ago when she was I think having a training match with one of her students, and she ended up drop kicking them in the face, like breaking their nose or something. It was weird, but I mean, looking at everything, but like that was a little bit of a bias thing I had because I'm like, oh no, did Miko actually like injure her in some way during the match that would have caused her to actually stumble and fall until I watched her fall again. I had to watch like Roxanne literally fall to go, oh wait a minute, just to get my bearings straight, because I'm like, this is sort of like what happened with Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
People actually thought that he literally freaking passed the hell out.
Right.
And for me, I'm watching for some reason my feed with NXT on my computer was not working that well, so I didn't really see the whole pin, but I did see Roxanne get up and then all of a sudden just collapse, and then I'm like, what's happening? So I mean, yeah, I was a little confused, but you know what? Overall, I don't know where they're gonna go with this, moving forward. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they continue the storyline between them two, if it does or if it doesn't. When she'll be back in the ring, when she can wrestle again. But was there anything else that we needed to talk about for NXT, or we feel we pretty much covered everything, Cam?
I think we covered anything. There's like only one match I think that was actually on the card, which was like Andre Chase versus Joe Gacy. But then I don't really think people are really interested in watching a Chase University versus Schism feud. Like, it's sort of on the side, and I don't know what it really adds.
Right. So then let's move on.
I think about it.
All right, so you want to move on to AEW Dynamite?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So, coming out of Revolution, I was expecting more from this show.
Absolutely.
I hope I'm not the only one that felt that way.
No, 100%, 100%. Like, Revolution was great. Revolution was better than great. It was phenomenal. Like, when you looked at all the matches that were on the card on paper, for Revolution, it kind of looked like, I don't know, like this doesn't look so good. Like this doesn't look like that great of a. These matches don't sound great, just
Right,
in
and
general.
there wasn't
But
that
yet,
much of a
but
build
yet
up
the
to it.
way it was the execute. Yeah, there wasn't really a lot of build up for a lot of them, but the way they executed it, like throughout the entire night, I was floored. I'm like, yo, they are starting off on a major high note with this because it was great match after great match after
Hmm.
great, almost great match, like banger after banger after banger. Two brawling brutes.
So
You know.
Kim, what do you want to start with on AEW?
Man. I guess we could just start with the OC, Orange Cassidy. I'm sorry, Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal match. First off, I think I'm completely opposite of you two, and I would say, was this a perfect Dynamite? No, but was this a great Dynamite post Revolution? I think so. I think so. Not everything flowed necessarily, but I think majority of what they put forth, I thought was some pretty good stuff. Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal, another AEW All Atlantic Championship match. So it kind of goes the course of every other Orange Cassidy match that we've seen thus far. Like the storytelling in it with Orange Cassidy and the knee injury he had in the match, and of course Jay's injured shoulder. I love the finish too because Jay Lethal was set up for lethal injection, couldn't do it because of the bad shoulder or whatever, and then of course the orange punch, and then 1, 2, 3. So I thought it was a good match. After that, I think we're setting up. I guess we're setting up Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus the Best Friends. Don't really care for Jeff Jarrett necessarily, as I've said many
So
times before. But this gives the Best Friends something to do since they're kind of in limbo because they've already set a tag team title storyline that doesn't involve them, and they're probably not primed for trios championships or whatever. So this gives them something to do. So
so you're,
all in all, I gave this a 3.8 out of 5.
so you're not hyped for the Orange Cassidy versus Jeff Jarrett for the AEW Intercontinental Championship next week
No,
Well,
because
I
they
no,
mean,
because they
that
leveled
was a
up
crazy.
the title.
no,
Yeah,
no.
Come
yeah. It's not
on,
the
like
All Atlantic Championship now. It's now the International Championship.
no, it's the Intercontinental. It's like WWE. Like, come up with your own
I
name.
know, I know it's like WWE, but they don't even they're not calling it an Intercontinental. They're calling it an International.
I really thought I was.
That is the literal name for it. The AEW International title. Like I will go back on
I
Dynamite and watch it again just to make sure if I'm correct. If
Oh
I
no,
have
you're all
to.
right. International Championship. Okay. Still, I like the All American. The All Atlantic was a nice name. Like it was different.
I mean, it.
I
I
could have
mean,
went. I
like
could have went this
knowing
entire show
Jeff
without
Japan.
mentioning, but
I
Yeah,
had to because it
some
was like,
countries aren't even in the Atlantic.
yeah. I mean, I just want Jeff Jarrett off my screen. Like,
please,
go away.
please.
Anytime he's
Yes,
on, it
like
automatically brings down Dynamite or any AEW show. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. It did not look well. Like the fact that Orange Cassidy beat Jay Lethal, great. The fact that Jeff Jarrett snuck up from behind him and pulled off a geriatric skull crushing finale, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I mean, overall the match was good. I would give it a 3.25 out of 5. But yeah, I just like
Fair enough.
they need to move on. Like Orange Cassidy needs to go be with better talent because he's being held back. I feel because he's one of the hottest things they have going right now, and putting him with people that are twice his age, like use him to help put new people over. Like build up your company. Stop having these old people drag it down.
Exactly.
Fair.
Next was what? Ricky Starks came out, and then we had the surprise return of somebody from Bullet Club?
Juice Robinson.
Youth.
I bet everybody was thinking that it was going to be Jay White when that logo appeared.
Yeah.
Honestly, no,
all
honestly.
you saw is Bullet Club.
I honestly thought it was going to be David Finlay. Honestly,
Ah, true.
that's why.
Ooh.
I don't
That would have been really interesting if that was David Finlay, especially knowing now David Finlay is now the new leader of the Bullet Club.
exactly. So that's what I thought it was going to be.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So-
I mean, I think David Finlay has only had really one match on a. He did have a match in AEW. It was in the weeks leading up to the first Forbidden Door pay-per-view. If there is going to be a second one this year, but yeah, like literally, I don't know how David Finlay would have really fit in, but I knew Juice Robinson was in. I knew Juice Robinson was Bullet Club, so I was thinking I honestly though I think it could have been anybody. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was even freaking Kenta.
Were they a tag team at one point?
No,
Juice Robinson and Finlay.
Oh, Juice Robinson and David Finlay? I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know.
Because I thought they had a couple tag matches in AEW. I'd have to double check that. I might be wrong. But I remember Juice Robinson was there before wrestling in tag team matches.
I am not sure about that for certain.
I don't think so.
I'll have to research that.
The only reason I think one of the main reasons that Juice Robinson is also on AEW is also because his wife is too. So,
well, this is
Juice
true.
Robinson, if you're seeing this, I will fight you.
All right, Cam, you want to continue on to the next part?
Yeah. So then after that, first off, before I move on to that, not quite sure where they're going with the Juice Robinson thing. He's been on and off AEW television, so who knows? So I don't know where the Robinson and Starks feud is going to go. But hopefully they come up with something exciting and keep Starks busy for a while. But after that, we saw a promo and match with Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho turned heel at AEW Revolution. And at first, like I said, I didn't quite agree with it, just because I just didn't feel like we needed yet another heel in the women's division. But her explanation, though, her promo, I think, was phenomenal, and it definitely has me sold on Ruby Soho as a heel. So she talked about the neck beards and the people not really respecting her since she's been in AEW. So I'm with that. I'm with that 100%. So yeah, I'm curious to see where they go with Ruby Soho heel turn. The match itself was Sky Blue. Anytime you see Sky Blue against anybody, you can already bet that Sky Blue's probably not going to win anyways. She's literally just there to just make whoever she's in the ring with look better. So I thought Ruby Soho looked great. This is probably the best I've seen her look probably since her debut in AEW, honestly. Or actually since Revolution. Revolution, she looked phenomenal. So I'm curious to see where it goes. So that trio with Toni Storm, Saraya, and now Ruby Soho, I like it, honestly. Seeing the three of them in the ring, I like it. It just feels right. It feels right seeing them together. Don't know where they go with it. Not quite sure where this whole homegrown versus the outsiders kind of storyline goes from here, but I like it. It makes them look like the rebels. You know, they're anti AEW. It's a good look. I like it for them. You know, it puts them on the forefront of the women's division. So yeah. Overall, I gave the match a 4 out of 5, solely because of just the promo work that Ruby Soho did. So yeah.
Sounds like you did a complete 180 since the review show from Revolution.
Yes.
And I mean that's great because that just means if you've done that, I wonder how many other people have, based off of just her promo tonight on Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, if I'm gonna put my thing into this, I agree with Cam. A lot of where I saw this the Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue match. A lot of it hung off of the amazing promo she cut. It was raw, it was real. It
Yep.
came from a very believable standpoint where she's literally saying that her babyface booking was literal BS. You debut her All Out 2021 as the Joker in a casino battle royal for the #1 contendership to the women's title against Britt Baker, as she said, a homegrown. And what happened? She lost. She then said, fast forward a little bit to the Owen Hart tournament, facing Chris Statlander, another homegrown. I mean, I forget what she said. She might have won that match. She might have lost that match. I don't remember for certain. But again, it was right. And then again, fast forwarding again to Sunday with Revolution against Jamie Hayter. Again, another homegrown. She did not. She was the one that ate the pin, but she was the one who made a statement. Not just at Revolution, but at that point in time in Dynamite. She's like literally the homegrowns and these entitled rookies are the ones that got to get the hell out the way, because these people because the wave of people like her, like Toni Storm, like Saraya that are still coming in, they are coming in hot and they are looking for blood. Which is why, and then of course we have Sky Blue come in. Sky Blue, for me, I know she tends to be, sort of jobber material, again, to make her opponents look good. But Sky Blue does, as much as she's considered one of those jobber wrestlers, I call BS, not just because she's from Chicago like I am. But it, I know, that's the joke with me. But I digress on that. I digress on that part of the conversation. She still can put on great matches. Right now, she's in obviously she's in a indie promotion in Chicago. She has been their women's champion right now for over a year. And seeing the match between Ruby Soho and Sky Blue that night, yeah, Sky Blue may have lost, but she and Ruby, both of them, they made each other look great. Honestly, for me, 4 out of 5 match, in my opinion, because again, promo was great. I liked the in-ring. For some reason, for me, I love Sky Blue's in-ring work. I love Ruby Soho's in-ring work. They were able to just make magic happen in the ring, and of course, again, Ruby wins. Saraya and Toni come in. They're ready to just do that whole outsider thing. We get Willow. Nightingale come in hold the hell up. We were teammates. What are you doing? You're losing your mind. It's like, let's stomp her out. Stomp her out and put that big, fat L on you because you are a loser. Gone.
Fair points. I mean, I was flipping back and forth on Dynamite. I really wasn't paying attention to a lot of this stuff, so I really don't have much to say about this one. So we can move on to the next one. Cam, where you want to head next on this one?
I'll touch a tiny bit on just the Jade Cargill situation. They had Jade Cargill backstage. I thought it was kind of weird. I mean, you figure we're coming off of Revolution, probably easily one of their best pay-per-views I think they put on so far. And then it's just like Jade Cargill she's just kind of there. She was just kind of forgotten about. So I thought it funny how they were just trying to incorporate a segment where she's like calling out some of Canada's best, I guess, for a match because I think Dynamite's going to be in Canada next week. So
Mm-hmm.
that was I thought that was
Winnipeg.
kind of strange. So I don't know. Yeah, it's like I said, it is definitely time for us to get a new TBS champion before it's too late. Before that title just completely becomes irrelevant. I think it's already happening. It's just the longer it's with her, the more it's just going to just deplete in value. So yeah, it definitely needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, she definitely needs to lose this belt. She
Yeah.
needs to lose it, get somebody else up there, and then she could use that to catapult herself into the title picture. And um, even though I don't think she's ready, that's the next logical step.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Again on that Jade Cargill thing, talking about Canada's best. I'm not familiar. Out of the women I know that are in AEW, I'm not familiar. I'm not exactly certain who is originally from like Canada. I kind of want to say. I kind of want to think it's. I want to say Penelope Ford for some reason, but then again, that might just be my head. I mean, well, there's the bun. No, the bunny's from Toronto. The bunny's from Canada, but Bunny's not go. Bunny, I don't think is taking the TBS title. That doesn't
no.
make sense to me.
It needs
Yeah,
to. You need
I'm
to
like, I'm
have
just trying to go through the ones in my head.
Statlander come back and take it. Like,
Yes, you do.
Yes.
That was the original plan until she got hurt again. So.
right. So that's what I think. They're just trying to stall until she can come back. We just don't. We haven't heard anything. We don't know even if she's close. And if it's
Right.
going to be a long time, just deviate from the plan. Change. Like, don't keep this going on because all it's doing is hurting the title and hurting Cargill.
There's like literally almost no one left.
Right.
She's run through the roster.
Like Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns said it best. There's no one left. There's no one left.
Yeah. Until somebody else shows up.
Right.
But what else was going on with Dynamite?
So we had AR Fox and Top 5 versus the JAS. Not really much to talk about there. I do like the fact that we have some more trios to add to the division. Because again, like I said, I wasn't sure about the direction that the new trios champion should go, which is the House of Black. But I like the fact that they're forming new trios or whatever, making that division the most must see division outside of their tag team division. So AR Fox and Top 5, I like that trios. They look pretty good together. After the match, though, which is probably the most notable, we had JAS. JAS obviously won and beat AR Fox top flight. The JAS had the audacity to call out the House of Black. I thought that was hilarious, just because I'm just like, House of Black versus JAS, really? Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like it would mix. Obviously, JAS is not. They are not in the league of House of Black, not even close. But they called out the House of Black, and as Jericho's calling them out or whatever on the mic, the lights go out. They're expecting House of Black, but then we hear "Carry On, My Wayward Son." We see the Elite, the former trios champions, come out. Of course, the crowd goes freaking ballistic, and they have a back and forth or whatever. I believe at one point Don Callis was saying that Jericho was only the second best wrestler from Canada, and then he said that if he had time to train, he would then be the third best. Which that's obviously the joke. Nobody wants to see Don Callis in a ring. No, not at all. But,
Nobody cares about the Jackal.
No, not at all. The best part about this segment was we did see the reigning champions come out or whatever, and my boy Malachi Black said, "Hey, if you want the belts, just come get them." So I believe we're going to see a number one contendership, I believe, for the trio championships, or we might see a triple threat trios with all three of these teams. Trios teams.
It is a triple. It is already decided. It is a triple threat match. It's the Elite versus the Jericho Appreciation Society versus House of Black on Dynamite.
There you go. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a very exciting match. So far I like the direction they're going with House of Black. They're not just putting the titles on them and then just kind of forgetting about them. So hopefully they keep this going.
Yeah, I mean, I like the
Real
House of Black. I'm glad that they won. I really don't like the Elite keeping the belts all the time. Like, I feel like they've had the belts way too much in AEW, and it's time for other people to get a chance.
Right.
Again, before the whole media scrum even happened, it seemed like when they did the tournament for the trios titles, it seemed like that they were like just tailor fit. Like I think a lot of us had said in the past that they were tailor made to fit the Elite, like specifically, like these were going to be the ones that they were going to hold for like who knows how long. And then of course, EVPs got, they were told, hey, go take a break, all that with all the crazy stuff that happened. We get like the trios titles are up in the air because as Death Triangle takes on Best Friends with Orange, Death Triangle holds on to them up until Full Gear when the Elite are able to come back. Elite come back, win them again. Or no, they lost it. There we go. No, they lost the match to Death Triangle, but then they had the whole freaking best of 7, and Elite at the end of the day, the Elite won that best of 7, which then allowed the House of Black to actually get this shot that they so well needed and so well deserved after being booked like crap. They are starting. They have been reborn. They have been. I don't know. They've basically been reborn, rejuvenated, and are now like looking to be that unstoppable force that really needs to be there. So, House of Black, we need you in clutch right now.
Yeah, I'm very excited for House of Black to have the belt. I hope they keep it for a long time.
Yes.
And not a short time.
Right.
We had what? You also had Dark Order versus Blackpool Combat Club?
Yes, we did.
John Silver and Alex Reynolds versus John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli.
Wasn't there... I thought I read something that someone else came back. Didn't someone come back on Dark Order?
Not that I know of, no.
Was there a match for tonight on Rampage?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I think so. Give me just a.
So I thought somebody that left came back for Dark Order, and people were saying they weren't sure if it was a one-time thing or if he's re-signing with AEW.
Oh no! Yeah. There isn't really there wasn't anything booked because they have Konosuke Takeshita going against Preston Vance, who's now with Le Facción Ingobernables. Then there's Sammy Guevara, Action Andretti, and Riho versus Nyla Rose, and then the Acclaimed are supposed to have a match tonight as well.
Well, that's my mistake on that one.
No worries.
We did see there was a video package for Bryan Danielson. Of course, we know he lost the 60-minute Iron Man match with MJF at Revolution, and pretty much at the end of that, he pretty much just said, he thinks it's just time for him to go home. I'm not sure what's next for Danielson. A lot of people are saying that it sounded like he announced his retirement. I don't think it's that, but I think he probably goes on a bit of a hiatus for a little while, and then he comes back. Personally, I think it's going to play into the match that I'm going to talk about next, which is the Blackpool Combat Club versus Dark Order. After the match, we saw the Blackpool Combat Club turn heel, which I'm all for. So I definitely think, and he was a part of the Combat Club, so I think he takes a break for a little while. Uh, the Blackpool Combat Club go on a tirade, if you will, as heels, and then Danielson somehow comes back into the fold, and there's probably going to be some friction there, I'm sure, because that's not how they started, and that's not how they originally were doing things. So that's what I think is next for Danielson. I think he gets involved in this whole Blackpool Combat Club heel turn thing. But right now, though, I think he's going to be off television for probably a little while.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit of a break. That was a rough match at Revolution. It took a
Yeah,
lot out of him. 60 minutes. That'll take a lot out of anybody. So
yeah,
I think they give him a little time away, come back stronger, and then hopefully get a title in AEW that he's been missing since he got there.
yeah.
Any thoughts on that, Phil?
Uh, there wasn't really a lot in there. From again, this for me, I don't really know if I paid a lot of attention to this match. It again, it's Dark Order, Blackpool Combat Club. Again, Dark Order is just there's literally only three people left in the group now. It's all it is Evil Uno, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. There's really nothing more you can go with them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, like as much as like I think the only person that's actually that's actually like if you had to actually put them on like how like if you like know them, the only person I would say that like people would name out of the three that that are in there now. The only one I can really say is John Silver. John Silver is that only name because he's John Silver, the Johnny Hungy, the Meat Man. Like I don't know, honestly, just not good in my opinion.
No, I get it. I get it. We had one other big match in this show on Wednesday, didn't we?
Oh,
Yeah, the TNT Championship.
yes, this. Oh my gosh. I'm just like I was so confused. Like really?
Where's that going?
Gonna hold it for 3 days. 3 days.
I we can't really hear you that well. I don't know what's going on with your mic. But yeah, like Phil was saying, they only held it for 3 days. I think I mentioned this on the review show. Cam was a little bit he was confused as to why this even happened on the title change on Revolution, which I mean, I said it in the review that I felt they did it because they didn't want Hobbs to beat Joe, and it made more sense for him to beat Wardlow. But I don't know. It's just they're playing hot potato with the title, and it doesn't. That's not good for belts. It doesn't make the belts gain any notoriety
Yeah,
or anything.
especially with the TNT title as of recently, because I think we all know a couple weeks ago, yeah, it was just a few weeks. Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago, or no, just maybe a month or so ago. Darby Allin won the title off of Samoa Joe, and then he held it for like literally 5 weeks because he had the first match with Mike Bennett, then Juice Robinson, then the banger with Kushida, absolute like chef's kiss. Um, the blood match with Buddy Matthews, and then literally right after that match, Samoa Joe calling Darby out because now he's the new king of television. And you know what? I love it. I love what they're doing with Samoa Joe with this whole King of Television gimmick, especially, TNT title on one arm, Ring of Honor World Television title on the other one. You have every right to call yourself the King of Television if you've got 2 TV titles on you, man. Like, I agree with it. But the fact that Darby, again, Darby is the guy who has the longest TNT title reign of all time, and you're gonna have him drop it in 5 weeks again to Samoa Joe. I'm like, where does why? Why? Because yeah, Samoa Joe gets the title again off of Darby Allin. It's a no DQ match. I get it, whatever, because it's Darby Allin. You're expecting that stuff. But then Wardlow freaking comes back. He has a match. He gets his match after I don't know, after a while. He comes in, yeah, he takes the title off of Joe. And again, why would you take it off Samoa Joe, especially when he's still riding this wave as King of Television? And then we have Hobbs winning the Face of the Revolution ladder match. So in this case, Knuckles actually captured the big coin, and finally Knuckles cashed the coin in for this week's Dynamite against Wardlow, who somehow got, as we all know, lost for some reason. He ended up losing his gear and the TNT belt altogether, which I thought was completely weird.
His car was broken into.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know about you guys, but I had people on my end talking with me. They're like, yo, Phil, this is crazy that Wardlow got, his car got broken into and they stole his stuff. They took the TNT title belt too. How are they going to have a TNT title match if they don't have the belt? And I'm like, are you guys being serious right now? You know they have backups for these things. They have backups. How do you, where did that thought come from?
And people were saying that it was Samoa Joe that did it. They're like, people are accusing Samoa Joe breaking into it, stealing the title back from him, and taking his gear so that he can't wrestle.
I know it sounds cool when you say it. Kind of sounds cool when you say that, but then again, I hear that now and I'm just like, I want to hide my face because I cannot stand the. Don't look at the cringe that's on my face because that sounds terrible. He's literally out there with an FTR tank top and sweats on. It just, what is up with that? I did not understand why they literally had to do this to Wardlow. They cut off the ponytail. Now you're gonna take his stuff. So now he's gotta look like he just got back from the gym or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. What the heck? And then they have the match, and it's not just an ordinary match. They Tony Khan automatically approves it, saying, "Hey, I agree with that. Let's make it a Falls Count Anywhere, last man standing." But enough of that. They get to that one spot. Next thing you know, QT out of anybody to interfere in the match, it's QT Marshall. When was the last time any of us gave a damn, if not cared at all, about seeing QT Marshall on television? Especially with him wearing that polo shirt with a little QTV thing on it. You branched out.
Ever. I don't think anybody's ever cared about QT Marshall.
Exactly. No one has. So the fact that QT interferes on Hobbs' behalf by whacking him with a chair and then just letting Hobbs power bomb him onto wherever it was on just on that landing pad, count to 10, and boom, our new TNT champion, Powerhouse Hobbs. Don't get me wrong, I feel like Hobbs should have had the TNT title earlier. I think a lot of people have wanted to see Powerhouse Hobbs with a title like the TNT title for a while. The execution of him taking it, though, from all these past months, no, this should not have happened. I want Hobbs. I wanted Hobbs to have the TNT title. Don't get me wrong. He's great. Powerhouse Hobbs is great at what he does. Like, he should have had the FTW title at some point. But like, no, we're now subjugated to this story, and I'm like, what are we thinking now? What are we thinking?
Cam, any thoughts?
Um, it, 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 it was all over the place.
Oh.
Shield.
Your
Your
mic's
mic again.
yeah, your mic's still messed up. I don't know.
Oh no.
You want to try leaving a Discord call and then coming back in? Maybe that'll fix it.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll turn off the. Give him a little bit. Have him come back in.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the match I thought was a good match. Did you see what QT was saying on Twitter after it? I think somebody called him out. I forget who called him out on it. Was it Raj, maybe? Raj Giri? Former of Wrestling Inc.?
I did not see anything that he was saying on Twitter. I haven't really caught up with that part yet.
Are you back in, Cam? Let's see.
Yep.
There we go. Now we can hear you.
Okay.
Hey! All right, your thoughts on the match? Even though I just went on a 10-minute tirade saying that no,
Well,
this is a complete BS.
It was a pretty good thing because I would hope that would have fixed his mic. So.
So I'm glad that fixed it. But anyways, I thought this was a pretty good match. Like I said, at one point we saw Hobbs get back body drop through a windshield. I thought that was a pretty good spot. I never really cared about QT Marshall either, but I think him coming back, and I like the fact that they said, he's always got Hobbs' back, things like that. I like how they incorporated that into the story of it all. But him winning this, how do you say, not the way I guess he should have won it cleanly. I think they're just protecting Wardlow. I gave this match a 5 out of 5. I liked it. I like the physicality of it. I think they put on a great match. Once again, we need to see a consistent reign now with Hobbs going forward because we haven't seen consistency with that championship in a while now. So, personally, I still think it should have been Samoa Joe to beat Wardlow and then Joe fight Hobbs because I think Joe should be built as, of course, like the big bad final boss kind of person. We don't need it to be Joe, then Darby, then back to Joe, and then he drops it to Wardlow, then Wardlow drops it to Hobbs. Just the path we got to get to this point was very, very rocky, and it didn't make a lot of sense. But hopefully, going forward, we have more consistency. So,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The hot potato going on with the title does not work.
no, not at all.
Nope.
Oh, Phil. Speaking of that, it was Raj Giri, and they are still going at it 3 days later. Because QT Marshall just quote tweeted them about an hour ago, so they keep going back and forth from Wednesday night. So
QT just shut up.
I would go read it because some of the stuff was actually pretty interesting, and Raj Giri's taken QT to task on a couple things. Was there anything else that we wanted to touch base on with AEW?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
I don't think there was anything else.
So I'm gonna have a special reveal done at 11:30. If you guys want to make sure your Twitch is opened up so you can see it when I do it. But let's start on SmackDown. This way, we can start talking about that. SmackDown was actually a good show. Like, I don't know what I was expecting after Monday Night Raw, and I'm glad they kept the momentum going into this show because the storyline behind the Bloodline with Jay, they had it feeding throughout the entire show, and I love what they did with it. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that obviously was the focus of the night. So yeah, definitely, I definitely liked the way they started SmackDown. They came in, they caught up with the Usos coming into the arena. Obviously, love how stoic and serious Jay was coming into the arena, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna say anything about what happened with me and Sammy on Monday night. All will be explained when I go into the ring later tonight." So I definitely like that. Once again, like I said, this multi-layered storyline is the best thing going on right now in WWE. And like I said, we're going to look back on this. We're going to look back on the, I think Scalz said it best, the Bloodline era, and just go, man, what a time that was. So yeah, I love it. Love everything about it.
Yeah, the we're witnessing history right here, and
Yes.
people are just so enamored with, oh, it's been going on so long. There's it's Roman's had the belts for too long, like all this other stuff, and they're missing everything that's been put into it. And if we had all the social media that we do now, back when the NWO was going on,
Oh my gosh.
I'm very curious as to what people would be saying.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine all the hate that they would have gotten for all that, and it never been
Oh,
truly
yeah.
able to develop?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
like Sting, like how could he have gone the entire time without talking? If social media with everybody's like, well, when is he gonna say a word? I'm getting impatient. Like it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
No,
Dude, the guy almost didn't talk for like an entire year.
Yeah, literally. If you were to reply to somebody on Twitter, it would just be an ellipsis.
It'd be dots. like
Like dot.
like I always wonder what it would have been like then. How now that we have everything now. Like that's
Yep.
that's just how I think that way.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
And especially during '97 when they apparently botched up Sting's like WCW title win. Like,
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the show like it flowed like every minute was good. The matches were great tonight. That IC title match, the contendership match, the Fatal 5-Way was really good. Like
okay, I gotta say something about this. I was going into this match, I was praying, no pun intended, that Karrion Kross was gonna get this win because I think Karrion Kross versus Gunther would be a great match for the IC title just in general. But the fact though, like, yeah, as we know, Kofi got injured, so we had Woods in on his behalf. Honestly, they actually kind of spared Karrion Kross, I feel like, in a way, because Sheamus pinned LA Knight, whereas Drew pinned Xavier Woods, and apparently I don't know what's up with the refs. That was synchronized ref
perfect.
with a 1, 2. That was like they planned that out for like 2 hours straight. Like they're like we're gonna practice this for like what?
They probably had to practice it because it was like the exact same like motions, everything. And I know they have a different way of counting each of them, and it was good. It was perfect how they did it. And then they look at each other like, oh.
Yeah. It's at this point, it's like, yo, you know what? You did that so well. Here's a gold medal. Like, even though this isn't like an Olympic sport, here, synchronized reffing, gold medal for you.
Yeah, Nightmare. I can agree with that. Pierce does need to grow some balls and use his authority.
Yeah,
like just make it a triple threat. That's what we all want, and we know it's going to get there because next week that match is going to end in a DQ. And there's going to be a triple threat anyway. So just announce it now.
Exactly. Like every major match we've had with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, like looking back on like the past, like probably since the Thunderdome, like when they broke into that huge feud. That like every single major match they've had, it's always ended in a DQ or a no contest or something along that line.
Mm-hmm.
So with the fact that Gunter is complaining to Adam Pearce, it's like, I'm looking for a challenger, not challengers. Like I don't. English is not my native language, but challengers, plural, challenger, singular. Like I'm like, why do you have to give us a freaking English lesson if this isn't in your native language? I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. But it's just like it's literally a what the heck, especially like knowing that we're now getting a Drew McIntyre Sheamus match,
Which is great because we enjoy their matches anyway. But
Right.
That's true. That's true. That is true. They put on great matches. It's always the end result that's always like, oh.
Yeah.
all right. So
Not the big thing of the night though.
what?
Rey Mysterio being the first inductee in this year's Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right. So I'm gonna pause right here. I'm going to do the reveal. I hope you guys like it. What's your guys' thoughts?
Wow. Wow.
So, me and Shadow had them made. I got the white one. He got the multicolored blue and red.
Nice. I like them.
So
Those
it
are
was funny
great.
when you guys were talking about it during the review. Oh, Off the Top should get some belts. Yeah, we already had it made. It was on its way here. It was in the middle of being delivered, and we couldn't say anything. And I had
Right.
to bite my tongue. Like,
Right.
so we wanted to reveal it to the important people with Off the Top, and I'm glad you guys were able to be here for it.
Yes, sir.
So, let's continue on with the show. Let's go back to the Rey Mysterio Hall of Fame nomination.
Yep.
Um,
The
I,
greatest.
I like it. I like the fact that obviously he's in the Hall of Fame finally. But one thing I like about it too is the fact that it's now going to play into the storyline between him and Dominic, obviously. So once again, that just proves that I believe Dominic is going to win his match at WrestleMania, and then it's going to be kind of like a passing of the torch from Rey to Dominic. So I like it. I definitely think it gives this feud between them two a little bit more bite, something more to go off of. So yeah, fantastic stuff.
Do you think we go into the hair versus mask type thing?
Oh.
It's possible. It's
Like,
possible.
like a retirement match for Rey, but
Mhm.
that's how it is, and he passes the mask along
Right.
because he loses
I believe
it.
so. I believe so.
Mm-hmm. And funny thing is, I wouldn't say the funny thing. It was just right after we see that Rey is our first nominee for this year's Hall of Fame. He comes out, and right when he's about to start talking, automatically, boom, we get Dominic's music.
Yep.
He comes out like it segued perfect. Like again, going off of what you two said, it segued perfectly with how the story is. Like, look at this. We've got a washed up deadbeat dad for our first nominee. Like Like we, like wow, like this, like how do you know how many birthdays, how many Christmases, how many Thanksgivings, how many soccer matches? Like, you have not done anything for me. What is wrong? And yet, who comes to the defense of Rey Mysterio but Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma? And you know what? This match between them, between Judgment Day and Legado, that was a great match. That was great. I love, again, like for those people who saw that digital exclusive between Ray and Santos, Santos again, not really like saying he's not like a friend, like he's not friends, but he gives him a lot of mutual respect, and that Ray does the same. Like again, speaks volumes. I thought that was beautiful, and the fact that they now have added the fact that he is coming to Ray's defense against Dominic. I like that. I understand. Yeah, they lost, but again, it just feeds more into the storyline to the point where Dominic even said, "I want a one-on-one with my dad. I want a one-on-one with my dad." He does more of the trash talking. Hit me again with the hit me, and with Ray saying, "I'm not gonna hit you," to the point where Dominic charged at him, and Ray, without even laying a hand on his son, just a weave, and he just falls through the ropes, like saying, "You can't do that. You can't do that." And he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna hit you."
Yeah, when he finally does, oh man, that place
that crowd's
is
gonna
gonna
move.
erupt.
Yeah.
They have to wait till WrestleMania for it to happen. Like they have
They
to
do.
at this point. It
Yeah.
can't happen
They really do.
unless it happens on the Friday night before at the Hall of Fame ceremony. But I think it would be more beneficial, and the crowd would go nuts if it happened at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Did Ray versus Eddie? Did they ever have a mask for his hair?
I don't think they did.
How did Ray lose his mask when he was in WCW?
He
It
lost
was
to,
against Kevin Nash in a I believe that was a hair versus mask match. It was against Kevin Nash.
I'm thinking of Juventud Guerrero. Never mind.
Not Juventud.
Never mind.
Who was Hoovies against?
Hoovy was against Chris Jericho, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yep. That's why it was the good callback when they did it in AEW.
Yeah, El Corazón de León, the Lionheart Jericho.
Yep. I just figured that would be a good callback if Ray and Eddie had that match, because Dom's been growing his hair out to look like Eddie, and it'd be a good tribute.
Yeah.
Yep. Funny enough, like I think my hair's been growing out kind of like Dominic's too. I don't look like Eddie, but I mean,
you got a mullet going
I've been working on this for a while, and
You got that mullet?
Yeah, I've been working on it. Yeah, I actually do. I've been.
Oh, he does.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just mine's just really wavy. Mine is just wavy.
Yeah, I mean, I love Legado. Like, they're so good. Like, I was so glad when they got the call up from SmackDown.
Yes.
From NXT to SmackDown. I mean, we had what else do we have tonight? Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus the Viking Raiders. Just okay.
Yeah,
Ricochet being Ricochet, which is always a good thing.
Right.
Ricochet. Yeah, I mean, like, if there, all I'm gonna say about that is that Valhalla was Valhalla, Sarah Logan, whatever we want to call her right now. Again, like very centrical to how the basically the match ended.
Mm-hmm.
Strowman looking for that, that Strowman Express coming through, pushes Eric out of the way, which of course sends Braun flying into Wade Barrett and Michael Cole, and then
Yeah, that was
what
actually
was
pretty
it?
good timing.
Yeah, yeah. Then Ricochet goes out, takes out Eric. Of course, gets hyped up. Then Valhalla starts creeping him out with like I'm gonna grab your face. Like, and he's like, no, thank you, no, I'm taken. She's right over there. Go. And then what was it? Like he was going for, he went for the 450, missed, but then just got caught in the big diving splash from Ivar, which completely squashed him. 3 count, done. Pretty much easy.
I like the segment between Rhea Ripley and Flair tonight.
Yes, I agree.
I thought that was pretty good. It makes me a little bit more excited for the match that's
Yeah.
happening at Mania. I like Flair going in the back and be like, yeah, I want to wrestle tonight. Like, why am I on TV? Like, hopefully she wrestles a little bit more, helps put more people over, get them in the spotlight. More women's wrestling on TV is always a good thing.
I think they don't really know who to. I think they don't really know who to put her against. Obviously,
Right.
I think because they don't necessarily want anybody who is sort of newer to the roster to be kind of have their momentum kind of stopped. I mean, they're going against Charlotte Flair, obviously, so
Right.
they want to showcase them in a better light. I think so. That's why I think she hasn't really been on TV a whole lot or whatever. So, but she definitely needed to be. I mean, with 3 weeks out from WrestleMania, she definitely needed to be on this show. I want to see more, or I think I would have liked to see more interaction between Flair and Rhea. I don't even think they've even laid a finger on each other since Rhea won the Royal Rumble. So definitely want to see more.
No, I think that's great because that means it's all going to happen at Mania and it's going to mean more.
True.
Have they wrestled
I
each
agree.
other since Charlotte beat her?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, so that's going to make this match even better. First time they've gotten their hands on each other in 3 years.
Right.
Well, I mean, well, no, I mean, what was it?
I mean, it's probably been house shows, maybe, but
Right. In
It might have been
kayfabe.
house shows, but I remember. No, I'm thinking back to 2021, back when Rhea won the Raw title off of Asuka. Like I know she had a couple matches with like Flair and the pay-per-views like then, because I think Backlash, you had Money in the Bank, like.
Yeah, but it's been a good while since they've actually fought.
But yeah,
Right.
it has been a long while since we've actually seen it. So I mean, it's going to mean a lot more when it comes to WrestleMania. And again, I cannot stress this, but like knowing how long Charlotte Flair has been a heel, and now seeing this face turn, for me it felt so awkward because I'm like, it's Charlotte Flair. How can she not be a heel when you are literally like the top of basically the WWE women's division with a title or without a title? But funny, it's just so weird how I'm actually kind of liking this a little bit. I like that she's trying to explore more a lot.
You could
on the
definitely
babyface
tell
side.
when it first happened that she was uncomfortable with it. She wanted to try and say
it
the
felt
wrong
off-
things.
It was just it felt weird. It was like Charlotte Flair is a babyface. Like how does this make it make sense?
I mean,
Yeah.
me and Cam have spoken on this a couple times with it. Like we were like, yeah, I mean, it's weird, but it's actually working. Like,
But then again though, like before, because she asked for like a suitable opponent for her that night, and the person they thought of automatically was Shotzi. I would right in my head, I'm like, why did you pick Shotzi? I don't know how.
yeah, but who else are you gonna pick? That's the thing.
I love
what Cam was
love
saying.
Shotzi. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Shotzi. Shotzi is.
Are we gonna see Sonya Deville again?
No,
Like-
no.
I don't know. I like Sonya Deville.
Yeah,
It's
I know,
just
but I'm
if they-
tired of seeing her face off against Charlotte.
that is true.
Who are you gonna have,
I
Natalya
feel
come
like
out?
there aren't enough women's wrestlers that are considered like I don't know. There aren't a lot of top tier women on I guess female wrestlers on SmackDown that I feel like she could be going against. So I guess Shotzi was the best one to go with because she just so happened to be there. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you don't want to put Shayna or Ronda in it because they're supposed to be going for the tag titles. You don't want to hurt any of them. You're not going to put Natalya against her.
I don't want to see. I really don't want to see
Right.
Ronda and Shayna go after these tag titles whatsoever
No,
because it's pointless.
It's not pointless.
Shayna would be a 3-time tag champ. She would be 3 times.
Okay, at least she's a champ.
Hey, as long as it keeps Ronda away from the singles championship, I don't really care.
Exactly.
I know. It's just with me, honestly. Ever since Shayna's been on the main roster, I've wanted to see Shayna Baszler with a single
and she
title.
was all
And,
ready
like,
for it, and go back to Elimination Chamber, and then everybody turned on her because she dominated the match, and then that was it. And Vince, changed his mind. Yeah, but Vince changed his mind because the crowd was silent for the match, and she got no reaction.
Yeah, to him, it's like, oh, she's
Correct.
an MMA, she's an MMA girl. She doesn't really fit in the world of sports entertainment, professional wrestling. It won't make sense to the general audience. And so you're gonna have her lose to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania.
Right.
Oh,
She was on pace to be the new champ, and then he just changed his mind, like Vince normally does.
Yeah, I know, but like, I love the Killing Machine.
We all did. We all missed the Shayna from NXT. And we didn't like her down there, but we missed her up here.
Right.
And then the only other thing that was left on SmackDown was the main event with Jey Uso coming out.
Yeah.
And
fantastic segment with Jey Uso. Jey Uso explaining why he did what he did to Sami Zayn. Like I said, I love the emotion that Jay put into this this whole promo or whatever. Him saying, hey, I had to do it. That's my twin. That's my brother. That's my blood. So I love that. And like I said, once again, it's just putting more emotion into this whole storyline or whatever. The bloodline era, as Scalz has called it, is amazing right now. So, and I'm ready to see the culmination at WrestleMania, or I guess it could either I don't know who's gonna win. I still don't know who's gonna win between Cody and Roman, and what's gonna happen with the Usos and the tag team titles. So it could be a closing of the chapter and the beginning of something new, or it could be the continuation of this chapter. I'm not sure yet. Either way, it's going to be freaking amazing.
They need to split the titles before that, so Cody can win and Roman doesn't lose his streak. And I've been saying this for months, but I don't think it's going to happen. And
I don't think so either.
To me, that means Cody's not winning.
Maybe he's not.
And that, I don't know how you come back from that. Like, who else could beat him then? Does Cody get a rematch afterwards in June? After he breaks 1,000?
There's no one left. There's no one left.
Like, who else could it be? Does Jay turn on him? And Jay is the one that beats him? Because he was the one that started it all. He should be the one to finish it.
I don't know. Maybe, but after tonight, I'm just like, I don't know.
I know, but could you imagine how that would catapult Jey Uso into the singles
scene?
It
definitely would. It definitely would.
I still think Braun Breaker should be the one to pin him. Because you instantly have a mega superstar right there.
Not immediately, because I still think they would need to build him up.
No, like he comes up the night after Mania, and Roman holds it all the way till next WrestleMania, and that's when he beats him.
Oh, well then, okay.
That's what I said. I've said that last year. Like I feel that Braun Breaker should be the first person to pin him, because whoever pins Roman Reigns, instant star. Because he has not
For
been
sure.
pinned in 3.5 years.
For sure. And the way they're building up Braun Breaker right now, I would say if once Roman is done, I think Braun is going to be the next top guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
But I mean, overall, to me, SmackDown was a good show. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. I enjoyed everything. Like it just flowed. Like there wasn't no downtime in it. I do miss seeing Chelsea Green on the TV because I do love her character, and she has a good fit with Carmella. I do like that pairing.
Yeah.
it could be another tag team.
I think so, and I think that's gonna be good because they need more of them.
It's a great tag team. We'll call them the Karens.
Works out.
Oh my!
Yo, who remembers back in what was it, early 2000s, like 2002 or 2004? There was 3-minute warning took out that one group of like 2 female wrestlers that were like, I'm sorry this goes a little crazy, but like there was that one women's tag team that got squashed by 3-minute warning. I think their name was like the Lesbians. It's like we had the Lesbians back then. Now we have the Karens.
I don't even know how you remember that, but okay.
Yeah, Phil dropping random facts over here.
Right.
I mean, I think that's why Shadow called me over.
Everything that people want to forget, Phil remembers.
Right. Pretty much. Pretty much.
But I mean, so that comes down to the end of it. I think we had this week for wrestling was actually quite entertaining. I'm curious as to see how we go forward from here for next week. We are on the road to WrestleMania. It is only 3 weeks away from tomorrow. I can't. Oh man, like I'm just getting so hyped with this, and they just keep building up the show, making me wanna itching on for it more. Like Sunday night, I'm gonna be at Madison Square Garden for the Road to WrestleMania show here in NYC. Oh man, I'm so hyped for this show. I'm so glad I bought a ticket, and I am going to be putting up content galore out on our YouTube channel with the shorts. So make sure you guys are checking out that. Phil, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me over on basically Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitch, all here at Phil the Future. That's Phil _da, isn't like you want to say da bears or whatever, _future. That's where you'll find me.
Cam?
You can find me on TikTok at Cam's Wrestling Corner. My other TikTok page is Call Me Cam G. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon, Eggs, and Cam.
Nice. Is your the Cam's Wrestling Corner, is it unbanned yet, or are you still banned?
I'm actually unbanned. I think I won my appeal, so I probably have been unbanned for a while now. So yeah, I won my appeal.
Nice. That doesn't happen too often on TikTok.
No, it doesn't.
You could find me here on Twitch and YouTube at Off the Top Media, and then on TikTok and Twitter at Off the Top Media _. I also have personal Twitter and personal TikTok, Scalz24. Want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We hope to catch you guys soon. See you next week for another edition of Off the Top, This Week in Wrestling. Have a great evening.